Hi there, welcome to my channel. We will be working on a Knitmaster 100. Today we are going to be using a needle selector. It's a gadget that came with the Knitmaster 100. I will not be doing a detailed video on the actual needle selector. This will basically be an experiment to see what this needle selector can do. I found this booklet on the needle selector, but the booklet's actually for the Knitmaster 250. There are a lot of differences in this booklet that need to be looked at. One of the differences is that the Knitmaster 250 has a turn dial where you turn it, it actually allows for the needles in D position to be knitted. Whereas on the Knitmaster 100, everything in D position cannot be knitted. The needles in D position is basically holding position on most knitting machines. I found this booklet quite detailed. It was showing ferrule stitches, and it was also showing how to do lace stitches as well as doing tuck stitches. So I will be experimenting with the machine in the next videos just to see how all of these work. I found the instruction book a little bit difficult to decipher, as I didn't really understand it. It's probably because it was used for another machine, so I basically had to just kind of work with it and to see how it works. This is what the needle selector looks like from the front and the back. The needle selector, I found immediately only works from right to left. I found that the patterns tend to have more even numbers. Here I am just selecting about 40 needles and just putting them into knitting position. Here I am assembling the needle selector. It basically just had a sinker plate, and you just basically slot it in and you basically just tie it down, and that's basically all it had to assemblage. Basically this is what it looks like from the front and the back. It's really quite a simple gadget, nothing too elaborate or too detailed. I noticed the position button was D and C. The button position is different on the Knitmaster 250, as it actually says B and C. With the Knitmaster 100, I noticed that because it's not a Knitmaster 250, you cannot knit in D position. You have to move the needles into C position in order for you to knit. And when you've knitted from C position, it goes straight into knit position, which will be position B. Here are the needles in D position or holding position. As you can see, they will not knit. They have to be in C position or into B position in order to knit. When you take the levers from the triangle to the circle position, this means that you will only knit needles in the C position. Here I am putting the levers back into the triangle position or knit position. The instruction manual was saying I should turn the dial to 6 and put the lever into D position when you work on the needle selector. The instruction says that you take the 8th needle from the front and you move it into D position or into holding position, and then you push the needle selector over. This repeats the first needle selected. For another method, the instruction said turn the dial to 8. The instructions say take a 3rd needle and another 3rd needle and then push the needle selector over to show another method of how it can select needles. This is where I just started to experiment a little bit with it, just to see what it would do and how it would work. This is just another angle of the experiment, just to see how the needles are selected. With the needle selector, I just need to figure out how it will work where you cannot knit in the holding position. When needles are in holding position, it makes it really difficult to knit, and everything would have to work in C position. The instruction shows D and C, and basically D means that it goes into holding position for the needles. The lever in C position means it's used for ferrule knitting. Here you can see a close-up of the button lever in D and C. I have not quite figured out how this needle selector works. I will be experimenting with it, and I will be doing other videos on what it can do. I just found it a really interesting looking gadget, and I'm just going to see where it goes. The next videos I'll do is probably ferrule and probably going to be the tuck stitch, and then I will do a video on what this needle selector can do. I want to say thank you for watching this video, much appreciated, and thanks to the new subscribers. I will see you in the next video as soon as I decide what project I'm going to do. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave a comment.